Yeah, welcome back. Let's put a flywheel weight on the Chappy and see if that helps our situation.
Yeah, what he said. We're going to have competing audios, dueling audios. How I wanted to speed this section up. Well, I will speed it up. So let me just, before I do that, and you don't have to witness the removal of this cover in real time. HPI ignition system on the Yamaha Chappy. I got so many projects I can hardly keep them straight. I determined that I needed a flywheel weight, and I waited for the next treat sale to get it, and so I've got it, and so I'm installing it now, because what was happening was it's a 2-speed automatic, and when you get to a certain RPM it shifts into second gear. And with the HPI system, with the lighter mini rotor, it would rev out in first gear just fine, and then go to shift into second gear and the RPMs would just bottom out. And as it warmed up it got better, but it still wasn't very good, so I figured I needed more weight on the mini rotor, so I bought this flywheel weight attachment, and that's what I'm doing now. So I will speed up the next bits, but basically I'm just putting the flywheel weight on and some other stuff. So let's kind of zip through that, shall we?
All right, here's our flywheel weight.
Yes, there it is, indeed. And it just bolts on with the 3 attached bolts, so that's nice. You might be able to, but if you want to adjust the stator plate after putting on the flywheel weight, the easiest thing to do is just remove the flywheel weight altogether. And I messed up. For some reason I thought the Chappy stator rotated, or the flywheel rotated counterclockwise, but it rotates clockwise. I think I've got them confused. The QT50 goes counterclockwise.
I hope this cover fits over.
Yes,
right?
that. I'll get to that in a minute. Just hang on, man. You keep interrupting me.
We have to go to Plan B, which doesn't exist right now.
Exactly. The Chappy flywheel rotates clockwise, and the QT50 flywheel rotates counterclockwise. That's important to know if you're trying to adjust the timing. So let's speed on through this, shall we? Okay, that took a bit of doing, but I finally figured out how to select a portion of the movie and speed it up. And I don't know what I'm saying. You'll have to slow it down 4 times to figure it out, or at least maybe twice as much. Slow it down twice as much. Who knows? Anyways, just putting the cover back on, and oh, I wanted to take that little cover off. Someone before me had stripped that left screw, much to my chagrin, but I can get some new screws, no big deal. And just kind of see if that flywheel weight is touching the cover at all. That was my whole purpose in doing this. And it turned out to be a battle of immense proportions until we got out the impact driver. Yes, I have 2 impact drivers. Some of you commented on earlier videos that I needed to get one. Well, I already had 2. So there you go. Wait a minute. In fast motion that looked like it was spinning counterclockwise, but I am almost sure that it spins clockwise.
So here it is with that flywheel weight. Seems to idle a lot smoother. I wonder if I can get the, I think the cover will get over it. It's going to be close.
And there you go. And we're off for a ride. This was after it had warmed up. The engine had warmed up quite a bit, so it was shifting better. And I need to double check because now I'm thoroughly confused on which way that flywheel rotates. But I'm pretty sure it's clockwise. So anyways, whatever. Got different bikes, different rotations. It's hard to keep track of it all. So here it is, HPI ignition system, fully installed with the flywheel weight. The only remaining issues are compatibility with the 3-position switch of the Yamaha Chappy lb80. Right now, I've got to figure out the ground situation in order to shut it off with the key. But I've got an idea, I think. I'll have to try it out and see and let you know. And then the other issues, you'll probably most likely want to get the flywheel weight with it, unless you want to do some clutch spring, well, I won't say that, unless you want to get into altering or modifying the clutch springs, which someone has done, and it looks like a bit of work. I think it'd be a lot easier just to bolt on flywheel weight. I want to advance the timing. Also in this cold weather, it wants a bigger jet, but I need to go back and advance the timing on it, and I think that'll do the trick. But right now, we're about 90% of the way there. I guess, you know, I'll come back with a follow-up video. Overall impressions, although we're not yet done, is of course the huge advantage of the HPI system is having more control over how hot your engine runs. And of course that's related to being able to adjust the timing. And then I guess that's part of that huge advantage, or it's another advantage of the HPI system, is with the Chappy, you know, others might have different view, but I'm not so much interested in top speed. I'm interested in acceleration. So the HPI system allows you to advance the timing so that you can improve takeoff and acceleration, which is my next move here. And then the cost of this is quite a bit cheaper than the QT50 system. And as I mentioned earlier, you can probably sell your stock flywheel, Woodruff key, stator, and recoup most of the cost of this system. I think people have been complaining about, I forget what they've been complaining about on Moped Army. Either it's the acceleration from a stop or it's the shift in the second gear. It's probably the shift in the second gear. And I'm thinking if I advance the timing, get the jetting right, it's going to have a better transition in the second gear. I'll report back later with my findings. So there you go. Like I said, I got another 5 or 10% to go. Got to figure out a place to mount that ignition coil. It's kind of just temporarily on the frame right now. Got to tuck away and make the wires look neater, and get the cover back on. But you know, that's all secondary. I guess really the main thing is tuning it in exactly where I want it. So I'll mess around some more with that as I get a chance. But I wanted to put this video out there. Didn't want to leave people hanging on where the Chappy project was with the HPI ignition. I've also got several other projects to update. It's been busy. Excuse me. Working on getting rid of a cold here. My son's a 3rd grader, and he brings home all kinds of diseases from school, and I get to suffer through them. But anyways, actually I think I'd do another little run, because as this thing warmed up, it got to run better and better. Oh yes, working on some Yamaha QT50 technological advancements. You know, going where no QT or few QTs have gone before. And I got to take that, if you just saw the recent speed run video, when I got home I noticed the rear brake was dragging. I don't know if it was dragging the whole time or just at the end, but there's a bit of doubt in my mind. So I'm going to have to take that back out and see if we left anything on the table. Here we go. We'll turn to the left here and give it one last little blast. And like I said, as it warmed up, it ran better and better. So I'll let you take it in, and you can judge for yourself. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon.